The amendment of the 1999 Constitution in the 8th Assembly has progressed. Today, the joint committees in the House of Representatives and the Senate, as well as state houses of assembly, are in Lagos to wrap up work on the efforts at amending the 1999 Constitution. The federal lawmakers will spend the next few days to deliberate on the areas of focus. The governor of Lagos State, Akiwumi Ambode, who declared the retreat open, spoke on the need to fix the 1999 Constitution and how it can be done before the 2019 election. He also asked the lawmakers to look into the interests of the states and federating units which have their powers domiciled in the federal government. The Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, says the 8th National Assembly will ensure that the Constitution will be finalized soonest, and the manner in which the work is done to isolate the amended bills one after the other to allow for speedy passage and assent by the President. Our political correspondent, Seun Okibaloye, is standing by at the Lagos Island venue of the retreat. Seun, so what can you tell us about the exercise?
Thank you so much. What is happening here, this is the room where the retreat is happening. For the 7th Assembly of the National Assembly took on the amendment of the 1999 Constitution. A lot of people will agree that there is a need of a lot of work to fix the 1999 Constitution. The 7th Assembly could not achieve amending the Constitution. So the 8th Assembly, since the inauguration of the 8th Assembly, they've commenced the amendment of the 1999 Constitution. There's several areas in that Constitution that needs to be fixed, and that's what they're discussing. There are a lot of consultants that are working with the National Assembly and the committees. Don't forget, the committees are from the House of Representatives and the National Assembly. They have also co-opted the state houses of assembly who are also represented here across the country. The governor of Lagos State was the man who opened this retreat, and he made it clear that there are a lot of responsibilities that has been taken by the federal government that should actually be taken by the state government. And he urged the National Assembly and the lawmakers here to look into those areas in making sure that those areas are amended in such a way that it can go into our constitution and we can reframe and restructure our present federal system of government. And of course, the National Assembly and the chairman of the Constitutional Amendment Committees, the Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, made it clear that they are doing the amendment in piecemeal so as to allow an effective way of achieving the amendment. So it doesn't go in the way of what happened in the 7th Assembly. So they're going to be doing the amendment in piecemeal, one after the other. And so the technical committee report is going to be considered here in this room. They're having a break right now. They will reconvene after some time. They will come together, brainstorming and putting all those, tidying all the loose ends in the amendment process. And at the end of the day, it will be taken to the floor of the National Assembly where it will be ratified. Don't forget, there were town halls across the country to consider those areas like state policing, like funding of the state government, like some of the responsibility, sharing of the state wealth and all of that. All of those are going to be considered in all of the amendments so far.
Well, thanks, Seun, for those updates. But against the backdrop of the current agitations for restructuring, what can you tell us is the relevance of this amendment?
If I get your question right, a lot of talk about restructuring issue. Of course, we did ask questions as regarding that. A lot of agitations from across the country, whether or not these considerations will be made into these amendment process. Yes, they did say those considerations will be made. A lot of the lawmakers did agree that the federal government is carrying way too much than it can carry. There are a lot of issues that the federal government need not bother itself about, issues of federal roads, issues of education. There are a lot of schools within the local communities that the federal government has responsibility, which they say the federal government cannot just carry all of this. The restructuring campaign and the restructuring clamor is going to be at the heart of all of this, because the lawmakers also, don't forget, they are the representatives of the people, and they are hearing what people are saying and the clamor across the regions of the country. And so we did ask these questions, and we hope that those salient issues that have been raised in the past weeks will be raised in this amendment and will be considered highly.
Thanks a lot, Sheung, for the updates there. Political correspondent Sheung Okibaloye.